take 2. Okay, our goal in this video is to understand exponential notation and to evaluate exponents. Few review vocabulary words here. Evaluate means basically to find the value. Expression is a mathematical phrase of one or more numbers, variables, or operations. Exponential notation is a shorthand way to write repeated addition of the same factor. And I'm just going to highlight a couple things here. So repeated addition of the same factor, mathematical, it's a phrase, and it has numbers, variables, operations, value. Okay, now, if we look down here, I read this as 3 to the 4th power. And what that means is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So here's the repeated addition part down here, and the factor that we're repeating is 3. Both of these are examples of expressions. This one is 3 to the 4th power. We've got numbers in there. This one we've got numbers and operations. These two things are equivalent because exponents allow us to take and write this long, cumbersome expression as a shorthand expression. Kind of like when we text and I say, for example, LOL in my text, what I really mean is laugh out loud. And it saves me some time in not having to write out the whole word. Same idea here. 3 to the 4th power means, hey, take and multiply 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So take and multiply 3 by itself 4 times. Now, some other important words for us to know are the parts of an exponent. And so if we look down here, the base is the number being multiplied. So the number multiplied or the factor. The exponent tells us how many times to multiply the base. And the power, which is what includes the base and the exponent, or it's the expression of the entire expression, including the base and the exponent. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So 3 to the 4th power, this 3 is our base, okay, or the factor we're multiplying, okay, and 4 tells us how many times to multiply it. That's the exponent, and the whole thing together is called a power. Okay, if we come down here, just to review, 3 to the 4th power, I would say that as 3 to the 4th power, and it means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So let's try a few down here. So 2 to the 4th power means take 2 and multiply by itself 4 times. So what that looks like is this. And so now 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16. 6 to the 1st power, or the power of 1. Well, that means take 6 and multiply by itself once. So that looks like this. Okay, so the value of 6 to the 1st power is 6. This one here looks a little scary, but it's not so scary. 2/3 to the 2nd power. Now notice that this has parentheses in here. These parentheses mean that exponent needs to be applied to both the 2 and the 3. So if I were to write this, I have to say I need to take and multiply 2 by itself twice. I need to take and multiply 3 by itself twice. So what I end up with is 4. 2 times 2 equals 4, and then 3 times 3 gives me 9. So this is 4/9. Now that's different than this one. I didn't write my exponent in because I couldn't get it in my program. So now this one's different because I don't have parentheses. This exponent of 2 applies to the 2 only. So I would write this as 2 times 2 divided by 3. Okay, so since there's no parentheses, the exponent goes with the 2. So then, because it's next to the 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. The bottom just remains the same, 3. So 4/3, which is very different than 4/9. Okay, now moving along here. Common errors to watch out for. The number one mistake my students make is they think that 4 to the third power is equivalent to 4 times 3. And it's not, because if we remember, if we go back to elementary school, the meaning of 4 times 3 means 4 copies of 3. So that means 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. This is repeated addition, okay? Which is very different than exponents, which says 4 to the third power means 4 times 4 times 4. The meaning of 4 to the third power is multiply 4 by itself 3 times. And it looks like 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, so this is repeated multiplication of the same factor. In this case, our factor is 4. Okay, so exponents are a quick way to write repeated multiplication of the same factor. Just like text language can help us write a shortened version of what we want to say. Thanks for listening.